Okay, so now we are going to get the oil pastels out. You're going to get a black and a white and then choose one color. We're going to start on your tool first, and we're going to do dark, medium to light as we go down the page here. So I'm going to start with a little bit of the black. You want to do it fairly lightly to start. You don't want to go too dark too quickly. We don't want to lose all that color we did. I'm sorry, the drawing. So I'm going to start with that black, pretty light, and then obviously this side of that could be a little darker, this side could be a little darker. Black goes really far, so you don't want to put too much down. Then I'm going to start overlapping it with my color. So I'm going to do green, and we're just going to keep going back and forth over this until it starts to blend. And we still want to separate the sides from the top and also any other things we drew that might have shadows in it. So you're going to use that knowledge that you gained from doing those shaded shapes to do this part. So again, I'm going to put the black, overlap with the green, and now I can start kind of pushing it a little bit more. Now here's this line. You're going to want to decide, is this darker or is this darker? I would think this shape would be a little darker. So I'm going to put a little bit more black, especially in that area. Overlap it with the green. We still want it to look like a dark green, not a black necessarily. So we're going to keep building those up and go all the way up to that black line that you created so that we don't see the Sharpie as much, but we just see the oil pastel. So a lot of blending. Take your time. I'm going to add more green here, but then I need to add more black because we want the tool to be dark at the top and get lighter toward the bottom, and that's where we can add the white with the green. So it kind of goes in that order: dark, medium, light. So I feel like the top is pretty close to being finished. I'm gonna start with the white now at the bottom. Now, if your oil pastel is really dirty, we can get a scrap paper and clean it off. I'm just gonna leave it. And then I'm just putting that white at the bottom, kind of like we did the black. So, and then I'm blending that upward to mix in with the green that I've already layered there a bit. And then I can go back over it with the green again. So once you're finished with oil pastel, it should look like paint, not a crayon. So once you start blending, it starts to look more like paint and not so much like an oil pastel. So you can do shadows with just your green and then more of the white where it's going to be lighter. Okay, so now we are going to do the opposite to the background. So we are going to go dark at the bottom, medium in the middle again, and then light at the top. So it's going to go opposite to show up that background. So same application. So I would maybe start, you don't even have to go all the way off the page, but if you want to, you can. If you are going to go off the page, please get a mat so that we don't get the oil pastels all over the table. And we want more black at the bottom and kind of less as we go to the center. So I'm just going to kind of layer that, and then I'm going to start putting on that green on top, just like we did at the other end of the tool. So you can kind of do lines in opposite directions. That's called cross hatching. So that'll help with blending too. So right now you can see it looks like crayon. By the time we're finished, it should not look like crayon. So this no longer really looks like crayon, it just looks like a painting. So that's our goal. So again, being careful to go all the way up next to your black lines. That'll give it a nice finished solid look. So it is really important to go all the way up to those black lines. We don't want to leave white spaces. It just doesn't look as finished when you do that. So trying to blend all the way up to the edges of your tool and getting that painterly look. When you think you're finished, if you'll come check it with me, if we're ready, we will turn that in and that will be completed. So you can see I did leave kind of like a white border. You can do that if you want, you don't have to. So that's your choice.